Thanks for joining me before this 3-day weekend. Today we're going to be talking about what I've called the best of the rest, which is looking at a few different social media sites that maybe you haven't thought about using or haven't thought of as social media or haven't really seen the application for your business. Anyway, we're going to be talking about a small handful of those today, but first just a handful of news items. And of course, as always, if you'd like to ask any question, by all means, on the GoToWebinar control panel, go ahead and enter your questions there, and I will try to take those at the end. So, some news. First of all, Facebook stock has continued to drop, and it's now, I think, somewhere in the realm of around half of what it initially was when Facebook made its initial public offering a few months back. And it's sort of started raising these questions about whether or not Mark Zuckerberg should be the CEO of Facebook, which in my mind actually makes a lot of sense. You know, he has had a great idea. He has great, programming skills. Obviously, he's the inventor and founder of Facebook. It does not necessarily mean that he is the best CEO out there. So I think that's an interesting question. But we'll see what continues to happen with this. He did finally sort of acknowledge that yes, the stock is falling, and the employees are getting a little bit nervous because they can't yet sell their stock, and so they're just seeing the prices drop. And anyway, we'll see what happens with this. My vote of confidence is still with Facebook, but that doesn't necessarily mean something. I don't run the New York Stock Exchange. Facebook added into its ads program. So I was going and creating some Facebook ads the other day for some of our clients, and I noticed this, and I'm going to make this bigger because I want to make sure you can see it. So here's what it looks like now when you're creating an ad. So you're still entering in, where you want the ad to take people, still entering a headline, still entering text of 90 characters now, and then the entering an image. So all of that is the same. They have now given you this option to do an image library, and they've given this option to show social activity about AskPivot.com next to my ad. So you can see what a preview of that's going to look like. But the thing that really surprised me as I was looking at this is that by default now they have turned on sponsored stories as part of your ad experience. And so so basically what they're saying here is, in addition to running an ad, we're going to encourage you to share a story. And here's what it would look like. So Jane Doe has shared this link about Pivot Group, and now they're going to put that in more of Jane's friends' news feeds as a way of promoting your company more. So that's actually something that you can pay for Facebook to do, really to promote you to into their users' news feeds, and now they're turning that on by default when you go to place a Facebook ad, and it's all worked within the same budget price for clicks and things like that. So when you're making a bid for people clicking on your ad, you're also making a bid for people clicking on your sponsored story. I just thought that was really interesting. They're really heavily promoting the sponsored stories area. I wonder, my question about it is how useful this will be, because users are able to turn off within their privacy settings. Like right now, in my privacy settings, I have disallowed Facebook from using, doing sponsored stories like this, and I'm sure many users are disallowing that. And so, there's some question as to the value of this, but I do think it's interesting that they're putting this foot forward so strongly and really trying to get people to take advantage of sponsored stories. And last news item, President Obama stopped by the social media site Reddit and was on Reddit for some time a couple days ago, just answering questions. He didn't say anything particularly, controversial or anything like that, but just another note about how important social media is going to be within this election, and there's a lot of talk about sort of which camp is stronger when it comes to social media, who's doing it better, that sort of thing. So it'll be sort of interesting to continue to see how social media plays out as we enter these last couple months of the election, preparing for the election. So now I want to move into the focus, straight talk on the best of the rest. What I have for you today is I'm going to look at 4 different social media sites, and they are social media in one way or another, and you'll see what I mean. But these are all things. The way that I actually went about sort of getting this list is I asked everyone here at Pivot, hey, what are the social media sites you use that aren't Facebook or Twitter or Google Plus or Pinterest or LinkedIn or Yelp or Reddit or Dig, basically the ones that I've talked about sort of more often on these webinars, and I got some responses, interesting responses back, and I sort of filtered those by, well, which ones really have a good business application or could. And so those are the 4 that I want to talk about today, and obviously this list could have been longer, but time is limited. So we have 4 to look at today, and again, if you have any questions as we go through them about how any of these work, by all means let me know. So first of all, Instagram. Now you have undoubtedly probably heard of Instagram. Facebook famously bought Instagram just a few months back, and there was this sort of outcry from Instagram users, oh please Facebook, don't make Instagram uncool. What Instagram is, it's actually just purely a mobile app. There's not a full website for Instagram or anything like that. And what it is it's a way, as you can see here on this introduction page, which is on their website, it's a way to just make really good-looking photos and then share them easily within your social networks. And so let me show you how Instagram works in case you've never used it. So first of all, these are all screenshots from my iPhone, and so what I did was I took a picture of, what Instagram lets you do is first you can either upload a picture from what's already on your phone, or you can go ahead and take a new one. So I just went ahead and, this is sort of a, I'm not sure what the word is, but I took a picture of the screen as I was preparing this this webinar. So you can see here, I got that picture into my view, and then I took that picture. And then the very first thing that Instagram lets you do is apply different filters to it. So you can see that when I apply this filter called Rise, it gives it sort of it's a sunrise kind of a look, right? So it's really bringing out the yellows in there. One of the filters that I enjoy a lot is called 1977, and 1977 being the year that I was born, I feel like it actually really does look like the pictures from back then. Of course, you can't see it too well with a picture of a screen here, but it's sort of calling out some oranges and giving it an old-fashioned look. There are other options that that give it all kinds of different looks. Some that sort of darken it up a little bit, and then you can put borders on it or not. And so a lot of fun ways to sort of play around with photos. And then once you do that, once you've got the photo looking the way you can do it, and you also crop it. That's the other thing to know about Instagram is you're always cropping into a square image. And so once you've done that, then there are the sharing options. And so you can set it up with your Twitter account, which you can see here that I haven't done. You can set it up with your Facebook account, which I have. In fact, I have linked my Instagram up with Facebook. And you can also email it to people. So you can create an email list to send this photo around to different people. And then there's an option here to show more, and it adds other social networks as well, things like Flickr and other things along those lines. And then when you click the share button, it automatically sends this image around to the various places. Also, within Instagram, Instagram is also its own social network because you can you have your own Instagram page that also displays the Instagram photos that you've taken if you choose to. And then you can have friends on Instagram and share with them there as well. And in fact, Instagram is like many new social media sites these days, is letting you sign in using your Facebook account. So not only will my Instagram photos automatically be shown on Facebook if I choose to turn that on, but also I signed up through my Facebook account, so it's using that profile information. And so here you can see the sort of finished product. Once my photo had been taken and passed through a filter and put the little frame on it and that sort of thing. Now that's not a great picture, so I did think it'd be fun to show you a couple of sort of real pictures that I've done with Instagram. So on the left here is a picture of me and my wife on our anniversary trip last week, and on the right is a picture of our son Graham at his seventh birthday party, slumber party, after he'd fallen asleep. So I took this picture of him with my phone, and you can see just what it does here with applying some filters, making pictures look a little bit better than maybe they would have, giving them sort of a style, and then putting them in this attractive square format with the frame. So some thoughts about Instagram and why it it can be helpful for your business. First of all, Instagram is very popular right now, and so just by using it, there is this sort of added credibility that you get for using Instagram. It's a great way to help you put a classy spin on product photos. So I've looked at some articles online about how Instagram can be used for business, and this is one of the main things people are saying is, instead of just having sort of normal product photos, put them through an Instagram filter and let them look a little bit stylish. Give them that sort of unique Instagram feel, and they're going to pop a little bit more. It's also a great way to create a Facebook profile photo. And actually, these days when I create, when I want to do a new profile photo for my personal Facebook page, I always use an Instagram photo because of the fact that, this is no coincidence, right? Facebook profile photos are supposed to be square, and Instagram photos are square. And Facebook bought Instagram, so you can see how this is all connected. So for your company Facebook page, bear in mind Instagram. When you're thinking about putting up a new profile photo, don't just use a sort of normal picture. Go ahead and pick something that is you put through Instagram and that looks really cool, and it gives your company a good look. It's also, Instagram is a great way to run a photo contest with your customers. So instead of saying, send us in your photos, how about send us, an Instagram photo? And that's going to be your photo contest. People enjoy using it. It's fun to use. It's very easy to use. And so it's a good way to get people to submit photos for a contest. So that's thoughts about Instagram. Second is video. I talked about video a little bit in our the one to watch section of my last webinar. Just mentioned it briefly. And what I said about it then was that it's a mix of YouTube and Twitter, because what video lets you do, as a reminder, is it lets you take videos of no longer than 15 seconds. So they have to be 15 seconds or shorter, and then you can post them onto Vidi, and you can have friends on Vidi, and it is a social network in that regard. So you're connecting with friends. Again, you're signing in through your Facebook account if you want to, which is how I've connected mine up. And it's a mobile application, so it's like Instagram. And actually, as I played around with it more, I realized that not only is it a combination of YouTube and Twitter, it's really actually a combination of YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. So first of all, it is a mobile app. So again, we're looking here at screenshots from my iPhone. So you open up Vidi, and then you get to go ahead and take a video of something. And so I took a video of the thing that was closest at hand, which was one of the Angry Bird stuffed animals in our office here. And I took this close-up video of the Angry Bird, and as I did so, the timer here was ticking down. So it started at 15 seconds, and then it started working its way down as I took the video. And then after I took the video, then it lets you do various different things. So it lets you actually add some effects into your video. And so you can see here that I added a hued effect, which just sort of added these fun colors to the outside. You can see this is very much playing on the Instagram model, where you're taking, in this case, not a picture, but a video, and you're adding some effects to it automatically. And it's effects from a you know, from a preset list of choices. And then you can do things to personalize it. So you can tag, again, this is very much a Facebook-like thing. You can tag people in your video. You can tag your location. And then you can write a title and a description. So I titled it Angry Bird. Description was a study in red. So it lets you, you know, create it very much like a Facebook tag or anything like that. And then since it was connected up with my Facebook account, I had it set to go ahead and post automatically to Facebook as soon as I had created the video. Oh, and the other thing I didn't mention, in addition to effects, also it lets you do music. So they have this sort of set of a handful of you know, preset themes. So not only are you doing a video, but it's a video with music behind it. Which is pretty fun, and an additional thing that obviously Instagram doesn't do because they're just working with photos, but Viddy was smart enough to say, well, we're working with moving pictures, so let's let people add their soundtrack. So I'm connected up with Facebook with my personal account, and within your settings within Viddy, there's this option to extend permissions, and when you do that, then it opens up your options within Facebook to actually connect Viddy to one of the pages that you are the administrator of. So you can see a bunch of pages here that I'm an administrator on, and so you can see that I could connect then this, for instance, with the Pivot Group account, so that when I take a video, I could then post that directly over to the Pivot Group page. And so it does very much have a business application in that way, because you can connect it straight to your company page. And of course, you can connect it to Twitter as well. And other social media sites. So some thoughts about Viddy. First of all, it's a way to make a short statement, a sort of short and pithy statement. And there are some articles out there. I think I Googled, you know, businesses using Viddy or something like that, and found some articles about businesses that are doing it well. And basically, what they're doing is using Viddy's platform to just create these really short, engaging videos about their products or services. They just capture in a really brief and clever nutshell what this company does. And so it's a way to, you know, express some personality and, you know, and to put yourself out there and let people see your products and services in a fun way. And it lets people share directly to your Facebook page, or sorry, lets you share these directly to your Facebook page. So again, that really adds to the benefit of this, because that means that then you're able to post these directly onto your company page, and so it's very easy directly from your mobile phone to do something for your business. And again, like Instagram, it sort of has this this hipness factor along with it. So the fact that you're using this this program, you know, is going to speak well of you to people who are sort of in the know and people who are interested in new technologies and that sort of thing. The question just came in: how many registered users does Viddy claim to have? And that's a great question. I don't know the exact answer to that. I know it's in the millions somewhere. It's certainly not in the hundreds of millions at this point. I know that it got a big boost because Justin Bieber was on a talk show and was talking about Viddy and using that, and so and it's gotten some other celebrity endorsements as well. So it is sort of in its nascent phase. But even the things that it lets you do, even if you're not going to capture a wide audience using Viddy, I think part of its benefit is letting you add these effects and these soundtracks to videos, very much like Instagram, so that you're able to create these really sort of fun and engaging videos really easily. So that's actually part of what I see as the main benefit of Viddy. Not so much that you're going to reach thousands of people using it, but more that it's going to help you present yourself really well. The third side I want to talk about is Yammer. What Yammer is, it's a social network that exists just for your company. And so, what they say on their website somewhere is, whether you are 7 cubicles or spread across 7 cubicles or 7 continents, we can help you communicate better. And so you can see here, Yammer has just so very much it looks like Facebook. It just incredibly looks like Facebook in terms of how it's laid out. So you can see here a sort of sample of how a person can post a question to a department or to particular people, and people reply like they would on Facebook. People can like things. They can share things. There's file sharing within Yammer, things like that. You have an inbox, which is a place to track your conversations and also to see private messages between people. And it also lets you do things like have employees have their own profiles and can list their expertise in case your company is big enough that not everyone knows each other, and so there's ways to sort of talk about here's what I do and here's what I know how to do and what I'm responsible for and things like that. You can see here also there are polls that you can do within Yammer, things like that. Now Yammer does there is a free version, and then there are some paid versions that are per user per month, so it's not an incredibly high user fee per month, but there is a fee associated with it. The idea behind Yammer and why I think it's a cool thing and something that could be useful for companies is that people are getting so used to communicating through Facebook and Twitter, and so what this does is it facilitates office communication, intra-office communication, by letting people do it in a format that they're really comfortable with and really used to, and it has a compelling. I mean, again, it looks very much like Facebook, so it has this very compelling layout and is very inviting to people and lets people comment on things or contact each other without the sort of formality and dryness of email, if that makes sense. It's just more fun and more informal, and some of the company testimonials that are on the Yammer page from places like Vodafone and other a lot of companies you've heard of, they're all saying that it really helps people communicate better because people are sort of just more interested in it. People just think it's a more fun way to communicate. So that's what I think part of the benefit is here. So things to take away from Yammer: yes, it can cost something, so that's important to know up front. But it's a great way to create a very social in-house network. And again, just like I was saying, that I think is really its main benefit. And it's really easy for people to pick up because of the fact that it is so much like social media. It's like Facebook, and so people really it'll be sort of second nature for people in terms of how to use it. And it also helps get rid of those sticky issues of, well, should we be connecting on Facebook? Well, now you don't really have to, right, because you're connecting through Yammer. Tumblr is my number 4 here. I've talked about Tumblr before. Really, it was over like a year and a half ago. But it's a blogging platform primarily, but it's the most social of the blogging platforms out there. And so it really easily lets you post, whether it's a text post or a photo, or if you want to record some audio or some video, you can do all of these things here. You can see a couple of sort of test posts that I've done on Tumblr. And then there are these options for sharing. So you can let other people submit posts onto your blog. You can share your posts automatically onto Facebook or into Twitter, and you can push those to company pages as well with Facebook. And then also Tumblr has this bookmarklet, which is very much like Pinterest, where you can have this button on your browser, on your internet browser, that says share on Tumblr, and then you can really easily just write something about it and then share that content. And so what they're doing is making it really simple to write a blog post, because you don't have to go to all the trouble of you don't have to go to all the trouble of going to a blog site and writing your blog post. You can be on a website and find an article that you think is interesting and click your share on Tumblr button, and then write a few sentences about the article, and there will be a link to it automatically posted to your blog, and if you've set it up this way, automatically posted to your Facebook page and Twitter feed as well. And there are also all the different Tumblr mobile applications here too that let you do the exact same thing that you can do with Tumblr on the web. So with Tumblr, you have all the benefits of blogging with a very social bent to it. So you know, it really does allow you to share things very easily and get content very easily. And like I said, it's very easy to set up that sharing with social media, so it's not hard to connect it to your Facebook page or your Twitter page, and so that makes it very user-friendly. And then again, the bookmark and the mobile tools just make finding content so much easier. I know it can be sometimes a pain to maintain a blog, and this takes some of the pain out of that, because as you're surfing, you can, you know, as you find something interesting, you can write a blog post about it right then and there, and have that incorporated into your blog that way. So that's Tumblr. I do want to talk about just a small handful of general takeaways about these 4 sites and sort of what they mean. First of all, I think it's always good to keep learning about what is out there. You know, new tools are being created all the time, and it's good to know whether there are things that you need to focus a lot of attention on, whether they are things that you can ignore, whether they're things that are going to give you some tools that help you do other things better, which I think is the case in with a couple of the ones we've looked at here. But it's always just good to keep apprised of what's out there. And then think broadly about your business and its needs. You know, other than Yammer, none of the 4 of these that I've talked about is specifically geared toward business. In fact, Instagram, Vidi, and Tumblr are really all intended primarily for individuals to use. But they all have business applications. So I think you need to think broadly when it comes to social media tools about what's out there and how it might have an impact for your business. And you know, your second line of defense, instead of your front line, your second line of social media can and maybe should be sites that make you look good. And here's where I'm really thinking about Vidi and Instagram, right? As I mentioned before when I was answering the question that came through, you know, it really is Instagram and Vidi can help your photos and videos look a lot better than they otherwise might, and just be more compelling and more fun. And so when it comes to social media and the tools that you're going to use other than sort of the main sites that are out there, think about things that are going to help you present yourself in a really good way. And mobile is all the rage. You can see Vidi and Instagram. Another question that just came in was, are Instagram and Vidi available only on phones, or can you sign up or upload photos from the web? And I believe the answer to that, I'm almost certain the answer to that is yes, they are available only on phones. So you can see there are, you know, more and more social media sites that are intended for mobile use only, and more social media is happening through mobile applications. I say drivers beware as a joke, right? Because we all know, and some of us, maybe me, are even guilty of using our cell phones while we drive and doing that sort of thing. But anyway, and some of these applications are you know, available only for iPhone. Some are available for iPhone and Android. I think both Instagram and Vidi are available for both platforms. But just keep in mind here that more and more, not only are you going to be using your mobile phone to, you know, for your business in order to, you know, get these pictures and these videos and create blog posts with Tumblr, things like that. But your customers are probably as well going to be, you know, interacting with their social media that way too. So that's all I have in terms of takeaways. Thank you so much for joining me before this 3-day weekend. I really appreciate your participation in the webinar. My next social media webinar will be 2 weeks from today on the 14th, and the focus topic is to be determined at this point. And Dave Neustrauten's next Straight Talk on Telco Marketing webinar will be Wednesday, September 26th at 11 o'clock Pacific time. Thanks again. Have a great long weekend. Remember to keep your media social and your talk straight.